Okay, the 2026 Portugal team is terrifying. Cristiano Ronaldo is 40 years old, yet he continues to bend the rules of nature, rewriting history with every match he plays. "942 goals, countless records, and still the face, the voice, and the heartbeat of Portugal. If Cristiano is fit, Portugal are fit."
The big question remains with this talented Portuguese side under Roberto Martinez. Is he going to be flagging at the World Cup and they're carrying him, or can he somehow muster up some more performances?
His mentality is unmatched. His presence shakes stadiums, and his ability to decide games remains untouched by time.
I'm not shy away. Some people, they don't want to shoot penalty because they don't feel confident. It's okay. I respect that. But Cristiano never will do that. Never. Even if I miss one time, I will shoot the second time. If I lose the second time, I will shoot the third time. I'm not afraid.
But here's the twist: as much as Cristiano is still a force of nature, he cannot outrun time forever. And that is where Portugal become truly terrifying. Because this team is no longer just about the legend, it is about the army that now surrounds him. Look at the names. João Felix, a footballer who, when given confidence, unleashes his genius and proves why he was once considered one of the brightest stars of his generation. Francisco Conceição, the Juventus jewel, blessed with pace, trickery, and ice-cold composure in front of goal. Pedro Neto, one of the most dangerous wingers in the Premier League, a player who eats defenders alive with his speed and directness. And then you have the midfield and orchestra of world-class maestros. Bruno Fernandes, the heart of Manchester United, who combines creativity, leadership, and tireless energy.
Bruno Fernandes looking for Ronaldo!
Bernardo Silva, a magician with the ball, whose calmness and vision make him the most reliable player on any pitch. And it doesn't stop there. Vitinha, the man who conquered Europe with PSG, now hailed as the best deep-lying midfielder in the world. João Neves, raw quality turned into pure reality, a wonder kid who has already matured into a world-class engine.
João Neves, who then scored
Palhinha, the wall of Tottenham, the balance, the fighter who ensures this team never loses its edge. Add to this Nuno Mendes, the best left-back in world football, the same defender who shut down Lamine Yamal and proved he can stop anyone, no matter how talented or hyped they are. This Portugal is not a one-man team anymore, it is a machine led by its eternal commander, but powered by a generation of fearless warriors who have already shown they can slay giants. They have destroyed Spain, stood toe-to-toe with the very best, and carried themselves without fear against anyone. They are not just playing for wins, they are playing for destiny, because every player in this squad knows their mission. Take Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest goal scorer of all time, to the one prize that has eluded him: World Cup glory.
I admire Cristiano Ronaldo for not just for the talent, the supreme talent that he has and what he's achieved in the game, but the fact that he's still out there when he could easily be sat just living the life, in some villa near the ocean or whatever it is he does, but he's out there trying to churn out results. I'll give him credit.
Portugal have already conquered Europe. They already lifted the Nations League, beating the so-called best team in the world on paper, Spain. And now, with Ronaldo still leading the line and a golden generation around him, this team doesn't just look competitive, it looks inevitable. This is not just a strong squad, this is a terrifying one. And the scariest part, they are all united behind the same dream to make Cristiano immortal, not just in Europe, but in the world. Cristiano Ronaldo is not normal. He has football written like a Hollywood script, a legend who refuses to let time win. Portugal today might just have the strongest squad in their history, yet the spotlight still falls on the man who has carried them for more than 2 decades. Because if Cristiano's on the pitch, it doesn't matter the shirt he wears. His team is always a contender. His story with Portugal is carved into football's very soul.
Cristiano Ronaldo, what can I say about him? I coached him at Real Madrid, and honestly, you don't need to coach him, because motivation, you don't need to give him. Ambition, responsibility, you cannot give him. It's only about creating an environment where the player can show the best and let him to be happy. But let me tell you, Cristiano works harder than anyone, and it's true. He's got more abs than I have trophies, which is saying something. But to be honest, it was a pleasure for me to coach a player like Cristiano, because it's always big advantage to have a player like him in the team. And of course, I think he's one of the best players ever played football.
He carried them to a Euro final against Greece in 2004, where heartbreak struck in one of the greatest shocks the sport has ever seen. 12 years later, he came back to deliver redemption, leading Portugal to glory in 2016. That tournament wasn't just about his goals, it was about his leadership. The image of Ronaldo encouraging João Moutinho to step up in the shootout against Poland. Or barking orders from the touchline in the final after injury forced him off, is etched into history. He was captain, leader, legend on the pitch and off it. We saw him cry in Qatar, broken, believing the World Cup dream was over. But destiny wasn't done with him. At 40 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo stands once more on the doorstep of a World Cup, this time backed by the most complete Portugal side ever assembled. And that's terrifying. But Cristiano's winning DNA remains untouched. Even with Europe packed full of powerhouse nations, he always finds a way to rise. Beyond the Euro glory of 2016, he also dragged Portugal to 2 Nations League titles. First in 2019 against the Netherlands, and then again in 2025, conquering Spain. And not just any Spain, this was a side led by the world's brightest young star, Lamine Yamal, a team many believed would sweep Portugal aside. But Cristiano stayed silent, waited for his moment, and with a decisive goal, dragged the match to penalties. Where Portugal shattered Spain's dream and lifted the trophy once more. The numbers themselves are otherworldly. A record-breaking 140 international goals since his debut in 2003, 222 matches more than any other man in history. 10 international hat-tricks, tied only with Lionel Messi. He became the all-time top scorer in men's international football, when at 36, he scored twice against Ireland, surpassing the iconic Ali Day. And he hasn't stopped. For 22 consecutive years, Cristiano has scored for Portugal. Every single season since 2004, he's delivered. No one else in history has done that. He's turned longevity into an art form, defying every law of the game, every expectation of age. From the boy who lit up Germany 2006, tormenting England and burying a decisive penalty,
to win it. He does! Portugal moves on to the semi.
To the icon who still terrorizes defenses today, Ronaldo has transformed Portugal forever. He has rewritten their history, lifted their standards, and given them belief that no challenge is too big. This isn't just a footballer. This is Cristiano Ronaldo, a man who has lived in football's brightest spotlight for 22 years and still shines as fiercely as ever. And as Portugal march towards 2026, the world knows one thing for sure. If the Bicho is on the field, anything is possible. No record can resist Cristiano. Recently, he even surpassed Lionel Messi as the all-time top scorer in World Cup qualifiers. But if what he has done with Portugal's frightening, what he has achieved at club level is nothing short of mythical. Cristiano has not only played for the Giants, he has conquered them all, leaving behind an empire of trophies, goals, and unforgettable nights. At Manchester United, the world first saw his transformation from a flashy winger into a relentless goalscorer. He tore down defences in the Premier League, collected 3 league titles, and in 2008 delivered his first Champions League with a towering header in the Moscow rain against Chelsea. That night, still so young, he announced to the world, "I am here and I am unstoppable." He went on to win his first Ballon d'Or as a Red Devil, and his leap, his drive, his audacity became the stuff of legend. Then came Real Madrid, the stage where he ascended into football's Olympus. 4 Champions Leagues, 2 La Liga titles, and a ridiculous 450 goals in 438 games. He became the club's all-time top scorer, smashing records as if they were made of glass. His overhead kick against Juventus in 2018 wasn't just a goal, it was art so majestic, it even made the opposing fans in Turin rise to applaud him. In Champions League finals, he was inevitable. A double against Juventus in Cardiff, a goal in Lisbon, another in Milan, and the decisive strikes that defined an era. Madrid lived in the Champions League, and Cristiano was the competition's immortal king. Juventus saw him arrive as a man on a mission, and when Atletico de Madrid thought they had buried the old lady with a 2-0 lead, Cristiano tore them apart with a hat-trick in Turin that shook Europe. It was the reminder that, no matter the shirt, he was still the man who could bend destiny. And even beyond Europe, he continues writing chapters of greatness. In Saudi Arabia with Al Nassr, he still lifts trophies, still scores, still inspires. His numbers are unfathomable. Over 940 goals in his career, more than 140 with Portugal, 105 in the Champions League for Madrid alone. He is the champion's all-time leading scorer and top scorer with 17 in one edition. He is not a machine, he is the measure by which machines are judged. 5 Ballon d'Or, multiple FIFA, the best awards, countless golden boots. To truly grasp the power of this Portugal squad, you have to start with the system that shapes them. Roberto Martinez has built a side that thrives on intensity, on suffocating the opposition with a tactical structure as relentless as the talent within it. His Portugal usually lines up in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, but the formation is just a shell. The real identity is the press. Martinez has drilled this team into a machine of high pressure. From the very first whistle, they hunt in packs, closing down passing lanes and surrounding the ball carrier with ruthless discipline. Every player knows their trigger, every movement is synchronized, and the opponent rarely has the luxury of time. It's not just pressing, it's organized chaos, a tidal wave that forces mistakes and steals back control. Against Spain, one of the best possession-based teams in the world, Portugal didn't sit back and wait. They squeezed them into tight spaces, cut off their rhythm, and turned their midfield into a battlefield. The defensive block was set high, pushing Spain backwards, suffocating their build-up, and making them look ordinary. This pressing system is what transforms Portugal from a collection of stars into a collective force. It's why they've beaten giants before, and why no nation can take them lightly on the road to the World Cup. Portugal's backbone starts at the back, and right now it looks like armour-plated steel. Between the posts, Diogo Costa has become a symbol of security. At 1.85 metres, with sharp reflexes and real presence in the air, he's not just a shot stopper, he's a modern goalkeeper who cuts out crosses, launches counters with his feet, and thrives under pressure. His penalty heroics against Spain, denying Alvaro Morata, already carved his name into Portuguese folklore. The only thing missing from his resume is the leap to an elite club, because the quality is undeniable. In front of him, the defensive marshal is Ruben Dias, Guardiola's diamond at Manchester City and Portugal's Van Dijk-like figure. He brings calm when chaos looms, anticipation instead of desperation, and rarely goes to ground. He simply reads, reacts and dominates. With that long stride and perfect timing in the duel, Dias doesn't just defend, he dictates. His presence transforms the whole backline into a wall of authority. Alongside him, Gonçalo Inácio brings a very different but crucial skill set. Left-sided, elegant, a defender who loves the ball at his feet. His progressive passing and dribbling through pressure open doors most centre-backs wouldn't even look at. Statistically, he shines in duels won, though his aerial numbers still leave questions a reflection of his size more than his mindset. In Martinez's system, his versatility to shift between left, central, or even right in a back three adds flexibility few nations can boast. And then there's the jewel, Nuno Mendes. At just 23, he's already spoken of as the best fullback on the planet. Unlike the polarised profiles of players like Alexander-Arnold or Wan-Bissaka, Mendes offers the complete package. He defends with intelligence, times his tackles like a veteran, and if beaten, his recovery speed makes the difference vanish in seconds. In the Nations League final, his box-to-box energy turned him into a constant outlet, pinning Spain back time and again. The numbers are outrageous. Top 95th percentile across progressive passes, take-ons, shot-creating actions. But the eye test is even more brutal when Mendes is on song. He controls an entire flank alone. This isn't just a defence that resists, it builds. Costa with his distribution, Inácio breaking lines, Mendes exploding forward, and Dias giving the whole unit its spine. And the depth behind them isn't an afterthought. João Cancelo's experience at right-back, Nuno Tavares' pace down the left, Renato Vega's physicality at Villarreal, and Antonio Silva's rise as Benfica's next great centre-half mean Martinez has options everywhere. Portugal's midfield in 2026 is nothing short of terrifying. It's not just about the big names, it's about how each one fits like a perfect piece in a tactical puzzle. This unit can press high, dominate the ball, and break down any opponent with brains and muscle. It all starts with João Palhinha. He's an old-school number 6, a destroyer in the middle of the park. Hard tackles, endless interceptions, and that instinct to smell danger before anyone else. In the Premier League, he built a reputation as the man who wins every duel, and at Spurs he's become the wall that gives balance to Portugal. Next to him, Ruben Neves. More calm, more technical, the man who brings composure and quality in possession. His range of passing, his ability to switch play, and his discipline make him the perfect pivot. Having these two on the team, you achieve a foundation that is almost impossible to break. Then comes the jewel, João Neves. Just 20 years old, yet he plays with the maturity of a veteran. He's fearless under pressure, happy to drop deep, turn and carry the ball past opponents. His agility, low centre of gravity, and vision make him one of the brightest young midfielders in the world. At PSG under Luis Enrique, he's already becoming a complete modern playmaker. Above them you find the maestros. Bernardo Silva is pure intelligence, pure control. On the wing, in midfield, as a number 10 it doesn't matter, he always delivers. His close control under pressure is almost impossible to stop, and his vision dictates the rhythm of every attack. Bruno Fernandes, meanwhile, is all heart and fire. Last season he produced 19 goals and 19 assists for Manchester United, proof that he's a constant threat in the final third. He runs, presses, shoots from distance, and always finds a way to drag his team forward. Even next to Cristiano, his leadership shines. And then there's Vitinha, the conductor, the brain, the one who makes Portugal tick. At 25, he's already lifted the Champions League with PSG and the Nations League with Portugal. His first touch, his awareness, his timing, everything is top class. He knows when to speed things up, when to calm things down, and always makes the right choice. A true Ballon d'Or contender.
You know when you control the tempo and the rhythm of a game? That has to count for something. People always talk about people that can do step overs and stuff like that and win the game, and I understand that. But Vitinha, the way he controls the game and defends, and it's a different sport.
Put them all together: Palhinha, Ruben Neves, Bernardo, Bruno, João Neves, and Vitinha, and you have one of the most complete midfield in world football. Portugal's attack in 2026 is something out of a nightmare for any defence. If the midfield already looked frightening, the front line is pure destruction. These are the names who take the passes, the spaces, and the chaos created behind them and turn it into goals that kill games. Pedro Neto comes first, the best right winger in the Premier League, a proper menace. Blistering pace, fearless dribbling, vision sharp enough to cut defences apart. Neto isn't just quick, he's clever. He can use both feet, swap wings if needed, and always carries danger. He's bold, aggressive, and every time he picks the ball up, defenders start to panic. He creates, he assists, he scores. Martinez knows it, and that's why Neto is untouchable in this team.
He's going to have a go! Pedro Neto!
Backing him is Francisco Trincão. With Sporting, he's been on fire, scoring and assisting with confidence. He's the kind of winger who comes in hungry and immediately gives Portugal fresh energy and end product. On the opposite flank stands Rafael Leão, one of the most unplayable footballers alive when fit. He can be a winger, a second striker, or lead the line, it doesn't matter. His stride is devastating, his power impossible to contain. Alongside Nuno Mendes, Portugal's left-hand side becomes the fastest, most explosive channel in world football. Leão's combination of verticality and flair makes him an unstoppable weapon, the kind of player that changes tournaments. Then there's Francisco Conceição. The Juventus starlet has gone from promise to reality. He dribbles with the ball glued to his feet, has agility to slip through the tightest spaces, and delivers perfect balls into the box.
Nuno Mendes. Vamos a la igualada.
Quick, tricky and fearless, Conceição adds yet another edge to this front line. João Felix is still the eternal debate at club level, but when he wears Portugal's shirt, his technical brilliance shines. He moves across the front line with intelligence, finding gaps, turning, shooting before keepers are set.
Nuno Mendes. Vamos a la igualada. Vale el gol de...
Bueno, siempre tengo la sensación de que la imagen...
Y más allá de la jugada.
He can play false nine, number 10, or drift between lines. His disguised strikes and quick decisions mean he can unlock any defence on his day. At the heart of it all stands Cristiano Ronaldo, the commander, the total footballer, once a winger, now a predator. He can still float in the air for a header, strike from 30 yards, or bury a chance with one touch. His legendary Ronaldo chop, his free kicks, his power, his speed, all still there, adapted to the role of pure striker, and more than that, his leadership. Ronaldo doesn't just score goals, he drags Portugal with him, demanding and inspiring.
Yo creo que soy el jugador más completo que existió, mi opinión. Una cosa son gustos, yo creo que soy yo. Yo hago todo en el fútbol, juego bien de cabeza, tiro bien faltas, tiro bien de pie izquierdo, ¿sabes? Soy rápido, soy fuerte.
Gonzalo Ramos completes the arsenal, a pure poacher with lethal instincts inside the box. When you need a traditional number 9, Ramos is the man, but the truth is clear. Portugal's attack begins and ends with Ronaldo. He is the soul of this side. Like Messi with Argentina, he's the emotional engine, the man everyone runs for. And with this army of talent around him, the world's giants should be on red alert. Spain, Argentina, Brazil, beware, because in 2026, Portugal are not here to play safe, they're here to conquer.